My name is Bevon Chadel Charles. I am a serial entrepreneur from the beautiful island of Grenada. And my presentation today is really on enhancing climate resilience for small-scale farmers through AI and blockchain. So I'm going to go through briefly understanding climate resilience for small-scale farming. We're also going to touch on the solution I came up with, which is Aqua2Grow, and the challenges within that. Also barriers and challenges that farmers face, as well as the backbone of Aqua2Grow, which is the farm management system, and how AI should be used really to sustain agricultural practices. And then we will go into financial inclusion with blockchain and some of the findings of our pilot, and then we're going to wrap it up in terms of where I see this going. So briefly, I am a second-generation farmer. My father really taught me the love for land, and the real reason why I do what I do is to feed my communities. So we started off really from 2 acres of land. Right now we operate over 300 acres in Grenada. And many youth, we try to innovate agriculture by still harnessing the knowledge that has passed down for generations, which has sustained the Caribbean region. But I tend to be very disruptive about the whole agricultural sector. So basically, climate resilient in small-scale farming, and what we're going to look at in terms of encouraging food security, reducing vulnerability to climate changes, promoting sustainable agricultural practices, but also mitigating those challenges by diversification of crops or operations, also implementation of an early warning system, adapting to climate agricultural practices. And then the AI and blockchain, how that should enhance and improve the agricultural operation in terms of data accuracy and also decision-making for farmers. Also enhancing traceability and transparency of transactions, and of course the financial resilience that, help farmers to access microfinancing, such as insurance as well, also investments in resilient infrastructure, and of course that will help build sustainable livelihoods. So across the Caribbean, especially in Grenada, 90% of our farmers contribute to our food security. And these farmers have to adapt to local conditions that is often threatened by climate change, that is, causing unpredictable weather patterns, more diseases and pests we are seeing. And the purpose of the research or the project itself was really identifying what of the barriers that's causing farmers not to produce as much. In our previous presentation, they spoke about the root crops, and we saw a decline in the production in Grenada. That has a lot to do with, yes, with climate change, but also the root cause of a lot of the issues that farmers face is not accessing financing. If you're not able to get financing to invest in different operations, financing to make, for example, you want to take advantage of export opportunities, there is no money available, how can you produce? So in our research, and basically what I do is really to identify what are the challenges farmers face. And one of the underlying one was the access to financing. Not lack of financing in the region, there are plenty of money to be had, but it's farmers' inability to access it for one reason, and that is the inability to record information. So what we did, we got a grant from UNDP last year, and as I mentioned before, we have 300 acres. And to be able to maintain that operation, I needed to find some sort of means to be able to record information, take advantage of timely opportunities, and I needed a way to compile that information into sort of a report if I'm going to a bank to get some sort of investment or funding. So because of the grant that we received, and we did research in terms of the challenges farmers face, I wanted to build the system. So we built a farm management system to be able to record that information. It is tailored to suit every farmer. It's very unique. For instance, how I operate my farm, the size of the farm itself, we do greenhouses and so forth. A lot of the farmers do not have those means. So therefore, I could not build a hat-fits-all approach. It's tailored, and that's where the AI and the machine learning comes in. For instance, I'll give an example. We have a built-in integrated pest management system. The pests and diseases that I might encounter in my greenhouses is different from a farmer who have open fields. So the information I put into that system is going to be different. It's going to be unique to me, whereas it will be different from a farmer who has an open field. So the farm management system, the farmer is now able to spit out records in terms of weather patterns, in terms of who the customers are, who the employees, the tasks each employee has to do. So they're able to compile a report, and now they can approach our bank or some sort of technical or financial institution and say, listen, this is my business in paper. You can verify this is what I'm doing. One of the challenges as well is the barriers between the farmers and the banks. And a lot of farmers in the perception that they were quick to say, banks do not want to give money for agriculture. Of course, they're high risk. But we have to understand that the bank will always operate as a bank and think like a bank. They're in the business of making money. So in the process of designing the platform, we had to integrate the banking perspective. So the banks and other financial institutions were part of the design and the makeup of the platform itself. So this is some of the features that the farm management system does. So I mentioned before, these are the barriers that we are trying to overcome: financial inclusion, also identifying financial inclusion as a key barrier, as I said, to the inability for farmers to produce. Also, the operational inefficiency. This was one of the challenges that a lot of the financial institutions face themselves. And of course, the decision-making support, understanding the importance of decision-making to support farming practices. Now, a part of the platform itself is we really wanted for farmers to have informed information. I'll give an example now. We had Hurricane Beryl in July, and a lot of farmers were not aware of parametric insurance. So Beryl hit, and everything got wiped away. Some farmers, like myself, who were informed of it, we were able to put measures in place as an insurance. So despite not being directly hit by Beryl, some triggers were triggered, and we were able to get a payout. So these informed decisions allow farmers now to make timely decision-making to help it. That will, of course, impact their operations. Okay, so what you're seeing here, this is actually one of our operation system in Grenada, and these are some of the features I mentioned before, what the farm management system does. All right, so I want to talk about the blockchain. I mentioned that the Aker Grow was built because of the farm management system. The machine learning allows farmers to record information and predict what might happen. But what we're aiming at is how do we allow farmers to approach a financial institution and able to get funding. In present day, in Grenada, it takes weeks for a farmer to call a bank, make an appointment, go through loan application processes. And these are time that farmers do not have, especially when you have immediate response and immediate challenges, know that you need money or sort of technical support to overcome those challenges. So what we're hoping to see is that we can produce the approach from the farmer to a bank responding, and that transaction time is reduced. In terms, it will be a seamless operation. And this part of the platform was designed and, of course, pushed by the financial institution themselves. So in our key findings, we have seen because we researched with 3,000 farmers, agro-processors, and financial institutions, the 20% we have seen increase in crop yields from the farmers who we have piloted through the farm management system. We also seen from the 100 transactions we have done, the reduction in time it took from the farmers to approach the bank and begin the loan application process. We have seen a reduction in time. So what we envision going forward, of course, to see more farmers coming onto that platform, they're able to see the improvement in the farm operation based on the predictability of the information that's rolled out through the platform themselves. Also see the the efficiency in terms of the quality of the report that goes before a financial institution. The loan application process, cutting down the time, of course. We want to see more loans transactions being conducted on the platform. And we're hoping to target, at least in Grenada, by the end of the year and early next year, at least 500 farmers being registered onto our platform. The uniqueness about the Act to Grow is scalable because it's not an issue that is just for Grenada. It's for all farmers in the region. And one of the buy-in we looked at when we tried to get farmers to understand the reason for using the system themselves is that it benefits them. It helps them to make informed decisions, that's key, and be able to access funding, so they can take advantage of opportunities. So as an entrepreneur myself, I'm very ambitious in terms of where I want to see this to scale. We are working with governments in Dominica, St. Kitts, and of course Guyana to work with the farmers there and the financial institutions. Because of the blockchain opportunities that exist, we are not only sticking within the fintech space in terms of the loans, but what we have already designed is also a traceability for farmers in the cocoa and nutmeg spaces to be able to track where those cocoa and spices are ending up on the market, or where it's being sold. Let's see. Okay, so we talk about how we're monitoring, setting up systems to monitor the impact of the AI and blockchain, and of course, tracking the improvement along climate resilience over time. One of the key factors in what we had faced in terms of when we approached these farmers and the resistance or the pushback we got, it was the digital literacy part of it. Farmers, of course, really want to focus on farming and not really giving them additional work. So what we did, the hands-on training in terms of how to use the farm, we make it very make it very user-friendly. Also working along with the Ministry of Agriculture to help do the recording for the farmers. It took the pilots, the 100 farmers that we piloted the project through, they were not really concerned about sitting down or spending an hour out of a day putting in information in a system. One of the backdrops of that, there wasn't much extension services in Grenada between the farmer and the Ministry of Agriculture. So this opened a door for us to be able to create a new group of people, young people, who are able now to be employed in that space to go out to these 100 farmers and be able to record those information from there. Partnership really was the backbone to make this pilot successful, working along with the financial institutions, our funding agency, UNDP, the Ministry of Agriculture, and so forth. I didn't have to really work hard to convince them that this can work. They understood the barriers that was already there, and they were very thankful for the solution that we're hoping to go and scale this across the region. So I'm going to pause here for now. Thank you.